lovers, because when we talk about hip hop in Africa, we don't talk about.
You keep saying hip hop, and I just told you we don't call it artists in Ghana. We're not calling hip hop.
Yeah,
we call it
but
highlife, hip life.
No, that's what I'm saying. That came out of something. Though. You just explain. We took the hip hop in America, whatever they were doing, whatever they call hip hop in America. But I'm saying that part of hip hop you took in America, that was a big area, a big scope of area.
Yeah,
because you had the. You had
and you just took a section of it. It's like sampling the music to make a track.
There we go. So when we sampled that music and made a track, what did that mean to us? What did we take out of that? What was it? What was it that we took out? But do we even know that? Because if we did know that, then we would know whether or not to even call it hip hop at all. Because
we keep saying hip hop, we don't call it hip hop. And I keep saying,
but you don't understand what you're not listening to me now. Because if you are, actually, you don't want to have your own little corner because you're not listening to me. I'm
listening. You said we keep calling it hip hop.
I'm not. You don't listen. I didn't say. You said you took hip hop, right? And you fused it with whatever was there.
Yes. And called it different
thing. Hiplife.
Yeah.
That particular section that you took, what was it? That's the question. That's basically.
It was the New York hip hop.
That's my point. So then, when you say New York hip hop, then you took a subsection.
Yeah.
Because then that means a person, not a group of people, was the person that introduced this.
Yes,
and
Reggie Rockstone.
And what he introduced was the
New York way of doing things. Yeah.
Why did we take his stuff? Why? Why did we take his one person to go, well, we're going to take whatever Reggie Rockstone said, and then we're going to take that and fuse it to what we have here and call it Hiplife. Why did we do that?
He did that. Yeah. People, vibed with it, and people gone well with that.
There we go. So therefore,
what's the problem with that?
I don't have a problem. I'm just saying to you, like, when we talk about this music genre that we've got, I don't think we all understand it. I think we all drinking the Kool-Aid of, you know what? It's Afrobeat. It's whatever it is. Like even Afrobeat, where did that come from? What was it? Do you know what I mean? What was it? Where did that come from? We're not having these conversations where we can talk about the best rappers or the best musicians, the best Afrobeat artists. When we say that, do we even understand what that means? When we say the best Afrobeat artist, what are we using to judge it? What is it? What is it?
It depends on what you want to look at. You can look at instrumentals, you can look at lyrics. Because when we say it's the same as rap, right? When people say somebody is the best rapper, right?
They have the accolades.
What accolades? You know,
I'll tell you what that.
Go on.
They have the way they fuse their lines together. They have what it means to have that. They have the witness. Is he a lyricist? That's why.
As you said, and now we try to break it, and that's why people will go. So when people say, no, because you break it.
Just jump in. Yeah, let me finish.
Because if I let you finish, then we're gonna get into something else, and that's where we've ended up here. The question is, when I ask you, okay, let me ask you.
Because now we're getting
because that's what you do it. Because you bring different things in, and if I let you finish, then we're never gonna address the main point. The main point is, if we say somebody is a best rapper, people will come up with all sorts of bullshit. And that's why some people go, this one is a conscious rapper. This is this, this is that. But the same way, if you say Afrobeat.
Actually, that's wrong. That's wrong. And I'll tell you why what you're saying is wrong. Because in America, they're not confused. They're not confused at all about what it means to be the best rapper. Especially those that know. Those that don't know, yes, whatever. And those that don't know will tell you Biggie is not the best rapper. Like, oh, it's never been the best that's ever done it. Those that know, like, that's an insult to them. Because those that really know what this music is about and where it came from, they can tell you exactly what it is without even trying to be mistaken about it. We, as so-called Afrobeat lovers or Afrobeat artists or dancehall artists from Ghana, whatever it is, I don't think we know what that means for us. Because when you talk about Shatta Wale, for example, doing dancehall, don't get it twisted. Shatta Wale's dancehall and Beenie Man's dancehall, they're not the same.
Of course, it can't be anywhere.
I'm not saying they are. I'm just, like you said, they can't be. Of course, they can't be because it's Ghana.
Yes, and that's Jamaica anyway. That's so they be rated at different, by different, different standards.
But here's the thing, though. When you're talking about dancehall, dancehall, Jamaicans are not confused because that's where it came from. Like, it's not even a joke. Like, if you do dancehall in America, for example, Jamaicans know what that means, and they even tell you. Those that know will tell you. Maybe that genre is very protected because they understand what it is. But we, as a nation, as a continent,
we all know what Afrobeat is. You tell me when you hear Afrobeat track, you don't know what Afrobeat.
What is Afrobeat? I'm asking you because I'm gonna not pretend like I don't know. You tell me when you say we all know what Afrobeat is. Tell me what Afrobeat is from your perspective.
I'll tell you what. An Afrobeat, will give you at least some form of, instrument. Some of the instruments will be an African instrument in there somewhere. At least the guitar strings at times will be in there. The kind of thing you're talking about in terms of lyrics and in terms of what the content is. And that's why I always find it funny when people talk about,
No, forget what people talk about. No. You give me so
content. So the content is the instrument.
Okay, the instrument, the content. Yeah. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, that's what makes the music anyway.
No, that's not what makes the music. Because what you're talking about right now is in every genre of music. Like, for example, jazz. Jazz is not just the instrument. Jazz is a feeling. It's the instrument. You cannot. I said it's not just the instrument. Okay.
So without the instrument, that's why. So without the instrument, it won't be jazz. You cannot put a punk rock track and then you're right. We've gone into. That's why I keep telling you.
You've gone into something else that is we can dive into because
you don't need to. It's over now. The point I'm trying to make is it's irrelevant.
It's extremely relevant.
It's not.
If it's not relevant, I won't be discussing it. It's extremely relevant, and I'll tell you why it's relevant. For me personally, I love this particular creation that we've made.
But you are saying it's nothing. So how is it a creation?
No, I've never said it's.
You just said that. You just said there's nothing that defines it.
No,
nothing defines something.
I just asked you what it means to you. Okay, and you just told me right now. For you,
and you said it can be anything based on what I said.
No, I didn't say that. You don't listen to me. No, you don't listen to me. I didn't say.
I just start playing back stuff to you.
Yeah, you should.
Because it seems like you say, as a matter of fact, I'm going to use my phone and I record you and then I just play that back to you straight away.
What you're trying to do is catch me out.
I'm not trying to catch you out. That's irrelevant.
What you basically said is the instrument that's being used.
The type of instrument.
The instrument that's being used, which is the type of instrument that lets you know. That's what you said.
Yeah, right? And then the content
also
will tell
the content
me. Yeah, we'll tell you what.
And I'm telling you, the content and the instrument, right, that goes across all board. And that right now is a big conversation in all genres because now music as a whole is being fused into different things. Okay, instruments are being used. I mean, you find a bongo being used in hip hop. All right, you will find a jazz like trumpet being used, a jazz sound being used in hip hop. But those that know hip hop would tell you, listen, that is hip hop on this, that is hip hop on that, or that's a rapper rapping on this. Can we do that with Afrobeat?
Yes, because if the fundamental, that's what I'm saying, all that you're talking about, if the fundamentals of a genre is on there,
let me tell you about it.
Then it's fine. If it's not, then it's a whole different thing we're talking about.
That's your definition of Afrobeat, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the public's definition of Afrobeat.
Because what do you think the public's definition of Afrobeat is?
It's not for me. If I tell you what Afrobeat is right now, you'll be shocked. Because for me, Afrobeat is Fela Kuti. Right? Afrobeat is
Fela Kuti is a person. It's not music, so I don't know what I mean by that.
We can break it down, but I'm just saying, like, if you understand that, then maybe you should go back and listen to Fela Kuti and the instruments that you're talking about. You will see in there, because the instrument nowadays in Afrobeat, like, what do you mean the instrument? It will be some form of instrument in there, but it's being fused by so many. Like, you can hear an Afrobeat song right now, and like you would hear Jamaican sound in there. You would hear an hip hop sound in there. You would hear a whole kind of stuff that's been mixed together and meshed into something that we now recognize as Afrobeat.
The point
is, it doesn't have an original sound.
Music evolves, and when it evolves, the fundamentals is what. No, I'm not changing it. The fundamentals is what I'm talking about.
Now you changing. What's the fundamentals?
I'm not. And I just told you the fundamental, which is the instrument.
Okay, what's the instrument? Break it down for me. What's the instrument in Afrobeat?
You know what? No, because I said I'll be here and then I'll spend 3 hours talking about something, and we keep jumping. So we've gone from
we're not
X,
jumping.
and we go to Y, and we go, and there's 27 alphabets. And by the time we finish,
let me tell you why you think we're jumping. I said something very simple. And I'm going to say it back again. I think, as a whole, we all need to sit down and understand what this is before you can start giving kings and queens and whatever label to people that are doing this stuff. Because as a whole, in general, I think a lot of us don't even understand this stuff. So whatever you're using as an attribute to go, this is the person that owns this thing, it's like, wait, that's your own idea of it. Because another person can come in and go, well, I think this and that and the other. And it's true, but in some genres, right? Let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not what I think it is or you think it is. We have something that we know is exactly what it is. So if we look at an artist or a person doing that particular area of what we consider what it is, Now, my feelings is about this person is good. Your feelings, maybe this person is bad. But when we look at those attributes that we have, we can't ignore whether the person have it or not. Whether I like the person or you don't like the person. We can't ignore that. But in Afrobeat right now, I don't think we can say that. I think your definition of what this person will have is different from my definition of what this person will have. Because as a genre, we still haven't had the real conversations yet. We still haven't. And if you dispute that with me, then it's you shifting the goalposts. Because I'm not. That's all I'm saying. And it's you having a different conversation.
No, would you say Stonebwoy does Afrobeat?
No, I think Stonebwoy.
Why would you say that?
Because Jamaican is close to what Stonebwoy does is close to what Jamaicans do.
Nah, hold on. Would you say Davido does in Afrobeat?
Well, hold on. No, You're making my point. I'm sticking to the Stonebwoy stuff. You're making my point for me.
Nobody says Stonebwoy is an Afrobeat artist.
No, but you're making my point for me. I'm not saying Stonebwoy. I just told you he's a dancehall artist. I'm not saying he is. But you're making my point for me.
Which is what?
Stonebwoy is doing what Jamaicans do. Right? Dancehall. But Stonebwoy is not Jamaican.
That's not the point.
Yeah, it is.
You see, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna go to another thing. The point I was trying to make to you are saying when it comes to definition of
me to tell you what you want me to tell you.
No,
you asked me a question and I'm telling you what the answer to your
you already answered the question. So what's
the reason why I answered that
I don't need your reason. I just wanted your answer.
So now you want me to tell you?
No, I asked you a question. It's like I've asked you where you going. I'm going to buy bread. That's all I needed to know. And then, I need to go buy bread because I'm hungry and I need to eat to survive. And then I have to shit and I need to need. I don't need all that information. I only wanted to know where you wanted to go.
This conversation.
No, I'm not.
If you want to trivialize it, I can do that also.
I'm asking you simple questions, and that's why I said
wrap
up because
simple.
I said we'll be here for 2 hours, going on from A to Z.
It doesn't matter.
It matters because
don't be emotional about it. It's just
I'm not emotional. It just
you want to wrap up because you're emotional about it.
No,
we have a conversation that I'm telling you
because it then becomes a pain for my black guys to go edit, and I don't want to do that because. I don't want to do that.
Well, you don't want to tell the audience how authentic this should be because you want to edit something out. So you
because
because
I don't. As I said, I don't think I know it's clear. That's why and that's the point I was trying to make to you. And that's why I asked you if you listen to Stonebwoy's music, you already know it's not Afrobeat. If you listen to somebody like Wizkid, you already know what kind of music he's doing.
So
if you listen to different people,
but Stonebwoy is not. Davido is Afrobeat, but Shatta Wale is not. Sarkodie is Afrobeat because what? He raps on Afrobeat song. Because Sarkodie is a rapper. And you're not going to call him an Afrobeat artist?
Suck is
So you're not going to call Emma an Afrobeat artist?
Emma is not an Afrobeat artist. Who calls Emma an Afrobeat artist?
He's an Afrobeat artist. Emma, have you heard Emma's album?
The fact that what's it called?
So who does Afrobeat?
Snoop did, a reggae album. Don't make Snoop a reggae artist. He did a reggae album. He did a gospel album. He's not a gospel musician. As you said, Sak is a rapper. At best, Sak is a Hiplife artist. Sak is not an Afrobeat artist.
So when Sak does a song,
he went
like okay.
It's like what Kanye did in the Royal Albert Hall with the orchestra.
Let's not go to international.
Kanye is not doing classical music.
Let's not go to the international artists. Let's bring it back home and express our feelings based on our genres back home. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you the question. When Sak did a track,
that's the last I'm gonna say because I know you want to drag this on. So I'm gonna say the last. Whatever you do, I'll do the last, and then you could talk as much as you want. No, I'm gonna ask you a question. No, I'm telling you that. I'm going to answer your question, and then after that, that's my,
because I see you getting emotional over this. I see you getting emotional.
Go on.
I'm just having a conversation, bro. I'm not trying. That's all I'm doing. I don't know what you are.
The conversation ended a long time ago, so go on.
It didn't end a long time ago because I'm not talking to myself. What are you talking about? It's fine,
ask your question.
It's fine. It's cool. I get it. Like it's for you. There's Afrobeat. There's all kind of genres in Africa. There's Hiplife, there's Afrobeats.
There are people doing all sorts of shit.
Cool. But
the fact that once in a while they might jump on a track with another person and do different things, for me, it doesn't matter.
Personally, now this is me speaking personally. For me, I think the business side of this stuff is not being looked into because we don't even understand what we're doing as a whole in terms of artists, business management, and all that kind of stuff. For example, we don't even have A&R, for example. We don't have artist development. Why? Because we don't even understand what this is. If you understood what this is, then it's like when you look at the Koreans, right? They have K-pop. K-pop for them is like they don't understand it, so they manufacture it. It's a manufactured thing because K-pop is some what, 5 years old boy or girl jumping into it, and then they groom them till they're 16 and make them release tracks. And guess what? K-pop as a genre, it's not even written. The song is written in K-pop. It's not even, most of the time, it's never people in Korea that write it. It's people outside the country. But they know what it is, so they do it based on that. They will tell you that's not K-pop. They can honestly tell you that. They'll tell you, no, you're doing something, but that's not K-pop. Because they understand what it is. They understand what it is for themselves. But us, as a continent that's doing this lovely thing that we are doing, I don't even think we understand it to be able to understand the business out of it, to be able to understand how to maximize and do things efficiently. We don't. We really don't. But it's fine, because you know what? For me, I appreciate it and I understand. And I know for us, it's something that helps us produce people like Patapaa. Okay? And that's great for him because it changes his life. It really does. As much as we might say crap about it, dude, because I say a lot of stuff about but I do. But something I can't ignore is the fact that he produced One Corner, which is like that song. If you're going through a lot of crazy nonsense and you hit One Corner, you're probably going to jump on and forget that for a second. That you're going through a lot of crazy nonsense. So he does that for people like that, and he does it for people like us. But let's not, for me, my opinion, let's not get it twisted and think we know this stuff. We don't. If we really want to do, we should sit down and understand it. Maybe then we can push the government to get involved and start pushing money into this stuff. Because this thing is generating money. It could generate jobs. It could transcend and make people like Shatawale put his SM movement to good use. or Stack Nations, like what is putting it to good use. But because we don't understand this stuff fully and understand the power of what we've got, we tend to trivialize and have conversations like me and you are having right now, where it's like, yeah, people are benefiting, and have people like Satawale sitting on Instagram saying rap didn't do anything for the nation. Like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. And I get it because for you, it's just that. You go into the studio and you make a song and the public loves it, which is what's happening. I mean, we don't even talk about royalties, for crying out loud. There's so many things we're not talking about because we're too excited about what it is that we're doing, because we don't fully understand it. We can't sit down and understand and sit down and look at every single aspect of this stuff. We don't talk about artist development. We don't talk about producers. We don't even talk about people that make music videos and how to make it. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I'm not talking about the fact that these guys are good or bad or whatever. I'm just talking about, be careful when you label things and give them king of this.
Now let me also say my piece.
Yeah, you can. And I'm done. I'm not going to say anything.
It's fine.
You can say yours now.
Look, talking about royalties, for instance, like in Ghana, there's Gamro that actually takes royalties and pay these artists. Now, you could argue whether the royalties that they get is what's that called? Is reflective of what they should be getting. That's a different conversation. Now,
not really, but okay.
We're talking about artist development and stuff like that. Links Entertainment, where Kidi and Kwame Eugene came from. People do forget. These people were taken off a TV competition, show. They got groomed by Richie for 3 fucking years. 3 years before they actually came out. And when they came out and they dropped their album, now Kwame Eugene goes everywhere and goes, they call me Eugene. And Kidi is actually banging girls out here like, it's nobody's business.
You said that like it's a bad thing. The artist, what are they supposed to be doing?
That's the point I'm trying to make is, somebody took them, and not only that, took the time, invested in them, and got them to where they needed to be. Now,
we're not a company, somebody.
Yeah, Links Entertainment is a company. It's Richie.
Yeah, but I'll be like, I don't want to interrupt you. Yeah, I see what you're doing.
Miss V,
I see what you did. Now, I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm going to let you keep going because it sounds interesting. Because I like when you're just picking pockets. Go on.
Now, you take, what's it called? Rough Records, right? Owned by Bullet. Bullet took Ebony from nowhere. Not only did Bullet write songs for her, Bullet went out of his way, get producers and all those kinds, and he did that. Boom. Ebony was a hit. It took Wendy Shea. People do forget. Wendy Shea was a nurse in Germany. Took Wendy Shea.
Company.
No. Again, Rough Records is a company. I'm just giving you the guy behind the company.
Yeah, but again, individual, not a collective.
How's it?
But
I'm giving you 2 record labels. It's like me saying, if I say something about Def Jam and then I'm talking about the father, Wiles and what's his name? Wiles.
Actually, you know what?
Guy's name
I
anyway.
don't even know why.
What's Jay-Z's partner? Dame Dash. So I'm talking about Dash, bringing people into when he was, actually, when he was working in Def Jam, and because I said Dash brought this person into Def Jam, blah blah. That's not point. The point is
Dash didn't work for Def Jam.
He did.
No, it didn't work in Def Jam. It was in partnership with Def Jam, yeah, but it didn't work for.
That's what he wants to claim. He worked for Def Jam. Def Jam signed his checks. Let's not go into that. That's why I keep saying we go from A to Z and it becomes another thing.
This thing. You know what? I'm going from A to Z. You're the one doing it.
I was giving you an example of when Damon Dash was in partnership, in quotes, if you could see my fingers, with Def Jam, and he was bringing people like people into the place, and then doing records with them, and you're saying like, oh, that's an individual. I'm talking about Rough Records is a company. Lynx Entertainment is a company. They took people, and I said they went like
What's the biggest record label in Ghana?
The biggest record label I know. The fact I don't know because I'm I'm not interested anyway.
No.
If I'm interested, I'll find out.
You don't have to find out. This is my point. But
if you ask me the biggest record label in the UK, I don't know. I probably might suggest that it might be Universal Records, but it probably might not be true. And I don't even know whether Universal has got a thing here or not.
So I'll refer.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
What's one of the biggest record labels?
You said you're not going to talk.
What's one of the biggest record labels in Ghana?
One of the biggest would probably be Lynx. Lynx Entertainment will be one of the biggest because they got like about 7 artists. So I'll say they'll probably be. And most of the artists are hip, although they've lost one of their biggest money earners. She claims, she had depression, but that's a different ballgame, and she thought she was being screwed. Again, that's a different thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. Look, let me just say what I'm saying. Yeah. I said, shut up. You said yours. Let me say mine.
Yeah.
Point is, Rough Records went all the way to Germany, took a nurse, and Wendy Shea.
You can't say that like that. Took a nurse.
She was a nurse.
Well, somebody else, she has to be doing something before she becomes an artist.
Yeah, but so I only stated the fact.
Okay, fine. Yeah, she was a nurse. I don't know why that's relevant, but okay, cool. Like Kidi and Eugene, they were something. They were going to school, right?
I don't know what the fuck they were doing. I don't know. Exactly, I knew they were in a competition.
Well, you seem to know what this one did.
Yes, it just so happens that I know this. That's all. I don't know what everybody used to do before,
Exactly, but that's not relevant.
But I know Kaki was a nursing training, and she failed the exams, and then she went back to do it, and now she's no longer a worker. Like there are certain people I happen to know certain things about. That's all.
Yeah, well, I don't know why that's relevant to what you were saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
I'm trying to say that I'm trying to say she already was living somewhere. She already had a career path that she already have carved for herself.
Yeah,
that's the point I was trying to make it. That's not the point. She was not a musician. That's what I'm driving at. Exactly. I don't care about the fact that she was a celebrity or not. The point I'm trying to make is she already thought she was going to be helping people in the hospitals. She didn't know she was going to be in people's ears and people's eyes, giving them music for them to love. And that's thanks to Bullet.
Actually, I think she did.
On top of that, Bullet was able to
become talented overnight. She was growing to be a talented person.
No, somebody
saw the opportunity.
Somebody actually
you
took.
have skills that you could put to good use. So come over here.
Trust me. Yeah, there's Emilia Brobe, who's an actress, the one that people claim that she came here to steal. She started to have a music career. Her first track, everybody knew how terrible it was.
Because she wasn't talented.
Of course, but Bullet was able to take her, groom her a bit, write a good song for her. In the second track, train Wendy Shea in there. The second track was better. The point I'm trying to make.
Because you're losing me right now.
Because you keep throwing me out. I was making a point. Yeah. The point I'm trying to make is, when you talk about, what, in quotes, a successful formula is, or whether it's in
formula, I wasn't saying formula, but okay, cool. Yeah.
Whether it's in Afrobeat, Hiplife, or whatever kind of music genres that these different people are doing, because some of them do different things, even though they might be under the same record label, they might do different things. And the point I'm trying to make is, and I was just using these two as an example. You take Lynx or you take Rough Records, they're able to take artists, not just roll them out straight away. They're able to take them behind the scenes, do a lot of things with them, get them the right producers and the right things. And then eventually, whether it takes a year, 2 or 3, some of them have been sitting around for, as a matter of fact, one of them goes so mad after 4 years that, he takes the record labels, he went and released his own track and it's trash anyway. But that's a different ballgame. And then they bring these artists out, and we've seen the success some of these artists have, a lot of them have. So there still seems to be a way to do things. Now, can it be perfected, or can it be finessed? Can it be tweaked? Can it be, done better? Probably it could be. On top of that,
I feel like what you're saying is to basically go towards what I'm saying. I'm saying this is what it is.
No.
I feel like I'm saying, but you're trivializing it, and you really are.
All I'm trying to say,
absolutely really are. But I see what you did there. I really did.
can't let me talk.
I'm letting you know. I'm just saying I can see what you're doing. Because I finally get your point. It's artist development. That's where basically you're going at. There's artist development. A few people have developed artists, but you know that's a lie. But you know that's a lie. But there's also royalties, right? Because there's another company that did royalties and stuff like that. You also know that's a lie.
How is it a lie?
Because most of the stuff you're talking about, right?
Is Kidi not an artist out here now? Is Kwame Eugene not an artist?
We just went back and forth about what Afrobeat meant and all that.
No, I'm not.
So,
you said an artist, and that's why I said they might be doing.
You asked me a question. I just want to answer your question. We just went back and forth about what Afrobeat is and all that kind of stuff. So I guess now when I answer your question, it's going to lead to something else because for me, of course they are artists, but. And now I'm gonna want to explain to you what I mean by what I said earlier, but you're gonna go, no, we shifted goalposts or whatever. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just saying, I see what you're doing. I can see you. I see you coming from a mile away. I see that because what you're doing right now is basically pointing out people that are doing stuff in the music industry that we so-called Afrobeat are basically looking into and saying this is what the industry is. But even you know. Whether you like to admit it or not, which I probably think you're not going to admit, that there's nothing here. Like, for example, how do we sell records? What's the formula to drop in an album? Can anyone give us that clear call? Like, the record labels, when you walk into the record label, how much are they signing? Like, for me, when I dived into it a bit, I realized that most of these record labels that you're talking about, they're doing a lot of crazy things with artists. Like they tying them down, like they're doing a 360 deal that is literally rapery. They're raping artists out here, like, and it shouldn't even be allowed. But because the industry is just what it is, and people just, everybody's excited about just being on a music video. That is just,
but you see, this why I keep saying. But that's why I keep saying.
And that's what I mean by the business side.
That's why I keep saying we end up having another conversation.
Like I said, I see what you.
And it'll be another thing. I see. And that's why
I'm not doing it. I'm just saying I see what you did. I see what you did.
Because it's not like we're not out here when what's the name? What those people? Don't go chasing waterfalls. TLC. I hear when TLC were moaning about the fact that So if you have a bad business sense and you go raped by a record label, that's your problem. The point I'm trying to make. You had your say. You had your say. Let me have my say. You had your say. Let me have my say. And then you could wrap up and then we can get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I'm trying to say my shit and then I'm
wrap up. Wrap up, okay?
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
You could do the honors. Because I see what you're doing. I really do. You could do the honors. Go ahead, wrap up.
Oh, Lord. Look. Does the music, industry have its problems? It does. Tons of it. Tons of problems. Tons of problems. Could it be better? Of course, it can be better. Even have women cheating on it.
You even have an industry. That's the thing. You call it music industry. Is it even an industry?
This guy, when it comes to music, this guy wants to talk to forever. So you find ways to say shit, and then we'll drag on and all this kind of stuff. But the point is,
you don't have to listen to me though. That's
what? Because then don't say shit.
I could, but you don't have to listen to me though. Wrap up, guys. Do you think?
All right, people. Look, thanks for joining us. If you got up to this point,
you know what, people? Let me tell you something. I finally broke Nana. I finally broke the guy, and the guy right now is broken. So up until next time, thank you so much for joining us. Peace. Oh, well, that was interesting.